How would you feel if you walked into a store and the store owner broke one of their products and then said you had to pay for it because you happened to be in the store? Or what if the police arrested you for a crime they themselves committed? It wouldn't make sense, right? In 2015, 16-year-old Adante Washington was murdered by a Millbrook police officer. This was all captured on the officer's body camera, but a grand jury refused to charge the officer with murder. Instead, 15-year-old LaKeith Smith was charged and found guilty of his friend's murder. A judge sentenced him to 65 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit. But here's the thing. The police officer's body cam footage showed Adante Washington allegedly pointing a gun at the officer. No shots fired whatsoever. The police officer then shot Adante and killed him. But yet LaKeith Smith was charged with Adante's death despite not firing the shots and also being unarmed. LaKeith was charged due to the Alabama state accomplice law. Their reasoning is, your friend aimed a gun at the police, and because of that, he got killed. So therefore, it's his fault. And since you were there, it's also your fault. So the police officer doesn't need to take any responsibility for his actions. The police can murder a black boy in one hand, and then in the other hand, give another black boy 65 years for a murder he did not commit. As a black man, actually, let's get it correct. As a 15-year-old black boy, you don't have to kill to be a murderer. But let's look at the charges for a moment. They offered LaKeith a 25-year plea deal if he pled guilty to murder. Now, of course, LaKeith, knowing he did not commit the murder and all the evidence was on camera, he decided to take it to trial. Even though the jury were made aware that LaKeith was unarmed and the police officer killed Adante, they still found LaKeith guilty. They sentenced LaKeith to 15 years for 2 burglaries, and then they sentenced him to 10 years each for theft, so an additional 20 years within the burglaries. They charged him for the burglaries and then the theft while committing the burglaries. Then they charged him 30 years for murder. Firstly, 15 years for 2 burglaries seems excessive for a 15-year-old boy. Let's be real. Most white kids would have probably gotten probation, but they've charged him twice for the same crime. Burglary is defined in the dictionary as entry into a building illegally with intent to commit a crime, especially theft. So burglary includes theft, but yet they charge LaKeith with burglary and theft separately, almost as though burglary does not include theft. The reality is they sentenced him to 35 years for just burglary, and then slammed him with 30 years for a murder he did not commit. You cannot make this make sense, no matter how hard you try. You kill my friend. I'm unarmed, but yet I'm found guilty of a murder you committed that also happens to be recorded on camera, which shows that you killed a 16-year-old boy and I was unarmed. The truth and the evidence clearly mean nothing as long as this boy is black. Some may even argue that Adante Washington shouldn't have pointed the gun at the police officer. They may say he was armed, he was black, he should have known that police would have had no qualms with shooting him. But what about LaKeith Smith? He was unarmed. He didn't hurt anyone. So how can you justify him being sentenced for a murder that the police committed? It was noted that when LaKeith was sentenced to 65 years for a murder the police committed, he laughed. Yeah, you'd laugh too. Because this is a joke. It's just not a funny one. I decided to see if there was a petition for LaKeith. I found one online with 43 signatures during a live stream last night. I asked my subscribers to sign this petition if they felt the ruling was wrong. So I'm going to put the link to this petition in the description. Please, everyone sign this petition. You never know. You don't have to put a real address, but please sign it, because this is beyond ridiculous. Just remember, he was 15 years old, unarmed, and the evidence and the footage show that Millbrook, Alabama police are guilty of the murder, not LaKeith Smith. Peace, love, and coconut oil.
Hey man, that's racist. Please remember that from now on, brand new never before seen videos, as well as live streams, will only be available on my website, ikyg.com, via a Patreon subscription. ikyg.com is a Black-owned, Black-ran platform, 100% free from censorship. It's the only place where we don't have to worry about what we say and expressing ourselves. Make sure you check out the description and the comment section for important links, as well as information in video form that shows you what benefits you get when you support the site and join my Patreon. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then don't forget to subscribe and be notified every time I upload a video. For exclusive content and perks, check out my Patreon. This is where we have private live streams, group chats, live Q&As, live phone calls, and open topics. This is a safe space where you can interact with other like-minded people, make friends, send each other direct private messages, and so much more without any trolls. And yes, you get to use GIFs and images in the live chats. So what are you waiting for? This is a completely independent website, free from censorship. If you'd like to make a donation towards the site so we can continue to put out the truth without fear of being silenced, then please hit that donation button. It's greatly appreciated. Check out the rest of the site for videos, private and public live streams, find out all the tea, and make sure to utilize the Black Money section of the website. Advertise your business absolutely free to people that look like you, free forever. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at angel_IKYG.